Into the darkness.
Executor, I sense that Zeratul and his brethren are close by, but I have been unable to make contact with them. I fear they may be in grave danger. We must scour this area immediately and find the Dark Templar, lest they be overcome by the Zerg.
Quick and simple. We love that. Alright, rescue Zeratul and keep him alive.
Yes, Executor? Your will?
I'm gonna have to learn how to use you, aren't I?
Your will? Of course. It shall be done. Of course. For Adun. It shall be done. For Adun. Tarikala. Of course. It shall be done. For Adun.
I'm gonna be so careful.
Of course. May I help? It shall be done. How may I help? For Adun. Tarikala. Of course. It shall be done. Tarikala. It shall be done.
Is there anything out there? We're gonna go see. What the? Hello?
It shall be done. For Adun. Of course. Tarikala. Of course. It shall be done. For Adun. It shall be done. Of course. Tarikala. It shall be done. Of
Why did he
course.
die? Did a ghost get him? That's annoying.
For Adun. Of course. For Adun. Your will? For Adun. Tarikala. For Adun. Tarikala. Of course. Tarikala. It shall be done. Of course. I long for combat. Yes, Executor. Tarikala. Of course. It shall be done. For Adun. Tarikala. How may I help? Tarikala. For Adun. Tarikala. It shall be done. Tarikala. Of course. It shall be done. Of course. It shall be done. For Adun. It shall be done. Tarikala.
That's not gonna be good for me.
It shall be done. Of course. Tarikala. It shall be done. Of course.
You're a Terran, we don't.
It shall be done.
Right?
For Adun. I hear you. For Adun.
Are they gonna shoot
Tarikala.
us?
For Adun.
You know what? We're gonna restart. Because I thought they were bad.
It shall be
Are
done.
you good up here?
Your will? For Adun.
I am so
Tarikala.
so
be
sorry
done.
for killing you.
Tarikala.
I'm
shall be
so
done.
sorry. Can you
Your
forgive
will?
me? That's who
Of
did it.
course. It shall be done. Of course. I hear you. Of course. It shall be done. For Adun. Your will? For Adun. Of course.
That's what killed me.
Yes, Executor. Tarikala.
And if we tag along, Commander.
I hear you. Yes, Executor.
Commander. Outstanding.
Yes, Executor.
Jacked up
Yes,
and good to
Executor.
go. Let's move.
Let's move. Yes, this will be a lot better. Aha.
Your will? For Adun. Tarikala. Of course.
Standing back.
For Adun. Tarikala.
Someone is being shot at.
Of course.
And I'm not sure how or where.
It shall be done. Of course.
They're up there for sure, though.
It shall be done. For Adun. Tarikala. Of course. It shall be done. Tarikala. Of course. It shall be done.
Did you hear that?
Of course.
guess that was a baneling.
Tarakala. Of course. Tarakala.
Yo.
It shall be
Anybody over
done.
here?
For Adun. It shall be done. Of course. It shall be done. For Adun. Tarakala. It shall be done. Tarakala. Of course. For Adun. How may I help you? It shall be done. Tarakala. It shall be done. Tarakala. Of course. Tarakala. Of course. For Adun.
My God.
Tarakala. It shall be done. For Adun. It shall be done.
Yikes.
I hear you.
Can't you regen energy faster, please?
I long for combat. Of course.
Go, go, go.
And nothing
Outstanding.
interesting here.
Teleportation field activated.
Oh, thank you.
Standing by. Let's move. Did you hear that? Rock and roll. Go, go, go.
How may I help?
Interesting.
Tarakala. For Adun. Of course. For Adun. Of course. It shall be done.
Got this.
For Adun. Of course. It shall be done. Tarakala. Of course. It shall be done. Tarakala. Your will? For Adun.
What was that?
Stop.
Of course. For Adun. Tarakala.
Okay, only one.
For Adun.
Fine.
Of course. For Adun. Of course. It shall be done. Of course. It shall be done.
Standing by.
Input command initiated. Lock party.
Damn.
Hear you. For Adun. Tarakala. For Adun. Tarakala.
And
It shall
another
be
one.
done. For Adun. Of course. Tarakala. For Adun. Your will? Not enough.
Oh my
How
God.
may I help? For Adun. Of course. It shall be done. For Adun. Tarakala.
Door is locked.
For Adun. Tarakala. Of course. For Adun.
Am I supposed to use the
Shall be done.
Marines as bait or something?
Tarakala. Of course. For Adun.
We gotta move.
For Adun.
No, that was just weird.
Your will shall be done. For Adun. How may I help?
Give me something to shoot. Commander, let's move. Go, go, go. Outstanding. Rock and roll.
My God.
How may I help? Tarakala. It shall
Okay,
be
so
done.
there's no need to go all the way over here. Love that.
We gotta move. Standing by. Rock and roll.
Will?
Oh my God, do you
Yes,
actually
Executor.
shoot something?
Your will? For Adun.
Okay, there's no need to go anywhere else in there.
Commander, standing by.
How may I help? For Adun.
Commander,
Yes, Executor.
standing by. Outstanding.
Okay.
Rock and roll.
Will? Of course. For Adun.
Standing by. Rock and roll. Commander, standing by. Let's move.
I hear you.
Give me something to shoot.
Your will?
Give me something to shoot. What was that?
Yes,
Fuck.
Executor.
Well,
What was
Shall
that?
be done.
Outstanding.
How may I
yeah, that's all we
Well.
wanted.
Give me something to shoot.
help? I hear you. How may I help? Tarakala!
Give me something to
I
shoot.
hear you.
Give me something to shoot.
Yes, Executor. I hear you.
Standing by.
Yes, Executor. How may
Give me
I
something to shoot. Rock and roll. Outstanding. Rock and roll.
How may I help?
Yikes.
I hear you. Your will?
Standing by. Jacked up and good to go. Outstanding.
Tarakala! It shall be done.
We made it.
Tarakala! Of course.
Door unlocked. Security doors unlocked.
I hear you. For Adon.
Alright.
How may I help?
Slowly but surely we're making progress.
Of course.
And now that we
Tarakala!
have this,
Of course. I hear you. It shall be done. Of course. I hear you. Of course. It shall be done. Tarakala! How may I help? Your will? For Adon. It shall be done. For Adon. Tarakala! It shall be done.
yeah, okay.
Yes,
Think we're fine.
Executor. Tarakala! For Adon. Of course.
There too.
Tarakala!
There
Yes,
too.
Executor. Of course. Tarakala! Of course. Yes, Executor.
Hello there.
Of course. How may I help?
I'm here. I'm gone.
I'm gone.
Want to turn up the heat? Finally.
Yes, Executor.
Never know what hit him.
I hear you.
Finally. I'm all over it. Never know what
We'll
hit
see
him.
if anybody is
I
down.
hear that. I'm gone.
Your will? For Adon. Tarakala!
Never know what hit him.
Okay,
How may I help?
not bad.
Of course. Tarakala! Of course. It shall be done. Tarakala! For Adon.
Finally. I'm all over it.
02.
I hear you. Yes, Executor.
Finally.
I hear you.
I'm here. I'm gone. Never know what hit him.
How may I help?
Call the shot.
Your will? For Adon. Of course. Warriors have engaged the enemy. How may I help? Shall be done.
Back.
Tarakala! Of course.
Finally.
Yes, Executor.
Okay.
Tarakala!
Are you here?
For Adon.
Hello, 02.
Greetings, Dark One. I have come to bring you home.
Greetings to you, mighty Tazadar. I knew that you would not forsake us. For in the time that you have spent with us, you have learned to value our ways and our methods. You have learned to channel our dark power, as well as that of your masters. And thus you alone have found completeness beyond the scope of the Gala. But I fear that the Conclave in its pride could never bring itself to welcome outcasts such as we.
Outcasts though you may be, it is your vision and courage that may yet save our homeworld from the swarm. I beg of you, Zeratul, return with us to Ire. Though they are petty and have in ignorance cursed your kind for generations, help me save our people.
Since our banishment long ago, we have never failed in our responsibility to Ire. Though it shall cause us great pain to see our homeland once more, we shall return with you, Tazadar. We will do what we can.
Yay!